3rd. We have no A&Rs. So the first item will be reorganization of the board. After that, we'll be signing the Registry of Deeds signature form. Then we'll have the town planner update, hold of the business, then the adjournment. So I guess the first item will be the approval of the minutes. They haven't had an opportunity to review them, and any issues or questions? If not, we have a motion to approve as submitted.
So moved.
Okay, second. All in favor? Very good. Okay. Next, we have the reorganization. Will you go ahead and do that? Or?
Sorry, Charlie. Do some of us need to abstain from the minutes because half of us weren't?
Yeah, anyone that wasn't, so I'm sorry, you're right. So,
Dave, Dane, and Taylor.
yeah, so there'd be 3 abstentions and the rest would be in favor. Correct. Thank you.
So for reorganization of the board, we'll have chair, clerk, which will serve as chair in the event the chair is absent, and the representative CMRPC. So do I have any nominations for chair?
Nominate Charlie.
Second.
I'll third that.
Well, first and second, that was Sue's nomination, Wally second. Any additional nominations? Seeing none, Charlie, would you accept the nomination
Certainly.
for chair?
Thank you. Yes,
All
I
right,
appreciate
all in
that.
favor of Charles Blanchard for another year as chair of the board?
Yep.
Right. And do we have a nomination for the clerk, who will also serve as chair in the event the chair is absent?
I nominate Sue.
Do we have a second to that?
Second.
Do we have any additional nomination? Seeing none. Sue, would you accept that
Yes.
responsibility for the next year? All right. May I have a vote on that for Sue Waters to serve as clerk/vice chair for the next 1-year period? Okay, thank you. And last but not least, CMRPC representative. Taylor, are you still? Taylor is still the
Yeah, there
representative.
hasn't been one since fourth quarter last year
Yes.
that I've seen. but-
Okay,
I'm happy to continue.
all right. All right,
Nominate Taylor.
okay,
I'll second that.
Very good.
all right. So all those in favor of Taylor serving another year as CMRPC representative? Abstain?
Very good.
You can vote for yourself.
You gotta vote for yourself. You don't believe it.
Seems a little narcissistic, but
Okay, and all are unanimous. Thank you all very much for your willingness to serve.
Very good. Thank
And
you.
if
Thank
you
you.
could all sign this paper so that people can record things at the Registry of Deeds, that would be appreciated. So,
You wrote your names.
Do you have a pen I can borrow?
God.
I'll give it back.
Yeah.
With a piece of paper.
Yeah. Get back to me in study hall, okay?
do you want me to do update while that's
Yeah, why
going
don't
down?
you do that? Sure,
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. So while that's being passed down, I'll just go over kind of a rather brief update. So the MassWorks grant update, I let you know at, I believe it was the last meeting that I needed to apply for an extension because DOT review times were taking a little extra time. So we did receive that extension of time. So the grant will now be valid through June 30th, 2025. We're hoping to meet a December timeline for finishing the design work, provided we can get it reviewed in time to turn that around and close that out. And then also as a follow-up to that, I have another re-inspection at Noble coming up in July. Some people have called about the plantings in the front. People have to remember that we're kind of in a temporary holding pattern right now because anything in the front's going to be ripped up again when this gets done. So if people ask you, if you could just let them know we're not at final product yet. And I do know there are some flags that should come down. I saw them today. So we also should have a full-time zoning enforcement / building inspector the beginning of July as well. Somebody should be appointed the 17th, June 17th. So the East Brimfield Lake Master Plan revision, we had discussed it at one of our meetings. I was able to attend that meeting. I think, Charlie, did you attend that night? And then a few members of the Open Space Committee and the Conservation Commission, a few members of the Board of Selectmen were there. And then I was able to reach out to other organizations like the Last Green Valley, the Recreation Committee, the Sturbridge Forest Association, and we all filed comments on that, encouraging them to keep the street or beach area zoned for recreation. So hopefully they heard us, and it will remain in their new master plan that way. And then interstate towing, so you do have a packet at the end of your packet this evening, and that's really just an update on some documentation from Mass DOT, some of their comments. They do have their drainage tie-in permit, which is in your packet. However, they're still doing the stormwater permit and the utility connection permit. So as a result, there have been a few changes to the plan. They're really very minor in nature, and I did ask CMG just to put those on a plan so that the board could be updated as to where we are. Since all of these are being required by Mass DOT and they're fairly minor, and because stormwater flow as of this modification anyway is less than what we had already approved, I'll just consider these minor field modifications and have everything reflected on the final plan set and on the as-builts. Unless anyone has any concerns or objections with that, that's the way that I plan to proceed.
I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah.
And then, as we discussed, there are no new applications filed. I was kind of saying this to a few of you before the meeting began. I do expect the new energy code to give people pause for a little while until they understand how that impacts their project and the cost that adds. The new energy code went into effect July 1st for commercial as well as residential. So we are seeing a slowdown, and I think that will continue for a while as people start to understand what they need to file with the applications to the building department. And we'll take the break to get some work done on the open space plan, the master plan. Also, for those of you that were at the town meeting, all of our zoning bylaw changes, the minor changes were approved. The first budget for our Affordable Housing Trust was approved. We'll be advertising for a part-time housing coordinator, hopefully before July 1st, 10 to 15 hours a week to help us get that up and running. And we are working with a consultant now to develop some housing grant programs that we'll start to implement. So we have a lot of work to do. We won't be bored, and you might just get a little extra time off this summer. So as of right now, we do have a meeting scheduled for June 25th. Both Wally and Dane cannot attend that meeting. As of now, we have nothing filed. If an A&R comes in, we'll have to meet, but otherwise, if there are no hearings or nothing to do, I won't have you come in just for the sake of meeting. And then the same with July and August, I changed up a little. Instead of going, second and fourth, I just tried to split the months in the middle and give you one on July 16th and one on August 20th. So part of that was middle of the month, and the August one I'm working around my vacation so that I can be here for that. Mm-hmm. So if anyone has conflicts on any of those dates, let us know, and we'll keep you posted as things come in.
Sounds good.
August was what date?
Oh, sorry,
The
Wally.
20th.
It is the 20th. And that's all I have.
Very good. Thank you very much. Okay, all we have next is old and new business. Dan, do you have any old or new business?
I just had one comment I thought of on the interstate towing project. I know they relocated their propane to be closer to the building. I was just curious if the fire department saw that, had a
Yes.
chance to comment on it. Okay.
Yes, Jen's been reviewing the changes as we get them as well.
That's all I had. Thank you, Charlie.
Great, thank you. Wally?
None.
Sue?
Set.
Brad?
No, none. The only thing I've observed is with the Blueberry project, a lot of water coming down to the base of the drive into the roadway.
Yes.
Is there any mitigation plans for that, or?
So there are, so what we're dealing with, and I've been sending you the reports, so they've acknowledged in their SWIP report, there is silt at the bottom, and so the issue we're having is, it's not really coming from the Blueberry Hill, it's coming from the Berry Farm subdivision. So I'm trying to figure out which violations go to which. I will say Blueberry Hill cleaned it up, so we are working with them. I have John Shevlin from PAR coming out to do an independent inspection. The next time that they're doing kind of their walkthrough and inspection, he's going to come out and do his as well. And we'll kind of keep that up periodically until we know things are under control. But if you go up to Blueberry Hill, I mean, they're kind of neat and tidy, and they're actually a little bit down gradient. So what we're getting is not really coming from them, it's from some of the other lots. The manufactured home was brought in too, that's sitting up at the top of the cul-de-sac now. If you go up there, you'll see that. So we are aware there are issues. They're installing additional erosion controls, and we're trying to get a handle on that. The Conservation Commission also has an environmental monitor doing weekly inspections, so we're trying to stay on top of it. And like I said, the biggest issue is trying to figure out where it's coming from, because it's not really coming from them.
It cheats across that,
Yeah.
across Route 20 very evenly.
Yeah,
however.
and the other thing is too, don't forget the top coat is not on, so some of the structures aren't functioning as they will in the end. So, you know, it's a matter of trying to keep a handle on it. Hope no silt goes down. I think if some water sheets off right now while we're under construction, we would expect that. But the big problem we had was there was quite a bit of silt a couple of weeks ago over there. So,
Yeah,
the water okay for now, silt not so good.
all right,
So,
well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, very good. Taylor, do you have
Nothing
anything?
to add, thanks.
Okay, very good. I don't have anything. So we'll have a motion to adjourn, I guess. So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Very good. Have a great rest of the